So we've called up our font screen, and then we have control steps, which we want to uh, and send text uh, to our font, send a font size, and now let's left click the control and say save. All right, so let's go ahead. Our script's getting a little bit on the longer side of life. So we may need to put in a little bit more delay in the launching of see, he finished his script before this screen showed up. So on that font, launch font, we only gave him a quarter of a second. That is not going to be good enough. So let's go back to here and where was that? That was a menu, and we have goodness gracious, come on, leave me some room. Here we go. Font, modify font. Okay, let's give this 2 full seconds. Okay. So save. So that's all saved here. So we should be able to come back here and say script and look at this. Lo and behold, we're going to now delay 2 full seconds. Let's execute. And Rockwell and saved. That was kind of quick on the Rockwell and save. But we can come over here and say, if I bring font up, our current font, oh, it went back to you. Interesting. Okay, so I am back after that last video. We ended that off with the script actually not working, which brought up a couple things to me. First off, I think it's a very good idea to figure stuff out online on the video to show people how to debug. And before I get to the solution on that problem, I want to say, let's come over to our, let's see, I want to go to the window and let's look at the font for a minute. Now, you got a whole bunch of buttons. We guessed these 2 were the save and cancel, but you got a whole bunch of them here. You got 1 to 8, right? Now, what I wanted to show you is, let's go look at our script. And this is, let's go include one of those controls. So modify, and let's say control, let's click the control. All right. So save. Now, whoops, not that. Let's go to you. Okay. So now, if you're looking at this, this is clicking button 8. Remember, we had buttons 1 to 8. So what I want to show you here is that we can execute the script, and there he goes. He's off to the races. He's doing his stuff. And we put in Rockwell and we put in 20, and then we pushed button 8, which didn't do anything. Okay, so let's try button 7. I don't know how many of you have noted, this is just a editor. This is just text. So what we can do is test stuff here to see what's happening. So we close it down, we change it to a 7 and execute, and that script is now executing, and he gets to launching the font, and we click button 7 and that doesn't do anything. Okay, well, let's try button 6, huh? Okay, and let's execute button 6. I know we renamed button 5 and 6 to save and cancel. And look at that. Button 6 did something. Okay, it at least closed the screen. So if button 5 also closes the screen, then that tells us that those are the two buttons on the screen that we're playing with. Whoops, not save as. Hit execute. So let's run it one more time here and say, okay, now what are you going to do? Font, and we look at that. He clicked it back to hit probably the save button. Order being what it is, it's 5 and 6. Those are our two buttons. So that tells us that 5 and 6 were mapped correctly. We guessed right on the money. Now, what turns out to be the problem is that when you actually put in a font, what I got to thinking about this. Let's go ahead and run it. So let's pretend for a minute that I'm doing this by keyboard, and we put that in, and I type over here. Let's just do it. And I say, what's the next thing I do? I'm going to either hit the tab key or I'm going to hit enter. If I hit enter, the screen closes. He takes the save. And now, if I go to font, we are on Rockwell. Okay. So, the solution to this, and this is the whole point of being able to understand the scripts and what they're doing and the tool that you're using, always play with the tool while you're doing this, and then you can say, okay, what did I just do? I hit enter or I hit tab. So we need to send an enter key at the end of this Rockwell here, right? But this is sending text to a control. Believe it or not, according to the gods of AutoIt, sending a tab or sending a enter key is actually a window command. It is not a control command. The control only accepts the Rockwell. If you send enter inside there, it'll come across as being sent as text. So I did a little research, played around with it a little bit, and this is what I've come up with as our solution. So we're going to come over to scripts, and we're going to go to a Windows script. Now, I am going to create a Windows script. And this Windows script is going to be for the font, window font. And what we want to do is send key, enter. Now, this sends all manner of keys. You can hit your function keys, print screen, numeric keypad, escape, delete, just about every key on the keyboard. Okay, so that is the sum total of this script. We're going to save that. Let's jump back to scripts. We're going to modify script. And a little bit of work I've done in between videos today is you'll see here, this actually is displaying the proper addition pieces of the names of the scripts that's generated so you know what the scripts are. So we'll drop that in here and let's go ahead and save. Then we can bring the script up and let's take a look. See, we're going to send Rockwell, set the font size, and then hit enter. So let's let it launch. And now it should be bringing up the font screen. There it is. And boy, was that quick on the other end of that. What time, what delay? We put a 2 second? I wonder about that. So, but then right now my machine's running an awful lot of stuff. Oh, it did get Rockwell and it's at 20. So let's change it to sans serif and let's make it 10 and say save. And let's close this down so we know what it's set to now. And then we can hit execute again. And it has launched. It did Rockwell. I saw that pop in there. May have to slow that down a little bit more. Goodness, that's fast. But we got Rockwell. We had it at 20 regular when I changed it to sans serif. And then we're back to 20 from 10. So you can see that the script is doing what it has to do. You've also learned on this video how to debug scripts and how to play with writing your own scripts to debug where things are so your guesses are a little bit more logical. So that concludes this script.